Well, I think it's officially 11 o'clock, so we'd like to get the show on the road. I want to start off by thanking everyone for coming today. Um, Special day in the life of the city, and a long time ago, um, I learned a few things, three simple things that can help make things work or make things progress. The first thing we have to do is if we can get a group of people to come together, we call it a start. And so we had to start with the pool. But when you get people to stay together, we call that progress. And we made progress. But when you get people to work together, you have success. And I think the pool project was a perfect example of how a total community can join together, move together, and work together for the betterment of everyone. And so, um, with that being said, I just want to thank the entire community for what they've done and supported us. Hopefully, this will be a pleasure that you can enjoy for a long time. Our mayor and our commission have done just that. They've led us through this process. They gave us direction, what we're going to do here. That was our start. They moved us forward with all their decisions and encouragement and support. But more importantly, they showed us how to work together because they work together so well. So, Zach Deeds and the City Commission um, showed us how to succeed. And at this time, I'd like to introduce him, Zach Deeds, as our mayor, and he can share a few thoughts from himself. Zach.
Wow, this is awesome. I know at least one guy's excited. He's been here since 9:30. uh, I hear fortune favors the brave and the early. Let's get this guy early in the line if we can. This guy, Eli, that was awesome. Oh man, I love that. Well, what a blessing to this community. This pool is going to be for us for a long time. Um, I spent a lot of time thinking about this pool project and how it correlates to this community. Um, and three words kept coming to my mind. Those three words were courage, faith, and benevolence. Um, these are virtues that have been found in this pool project, as well as many events, and I call them community treasures in our community. And that's what I'd like to describe a little bit for you right now. So courage, what is that? I'm glad you asked. Courage is mental or moral strength to venture or take action, preserve, and withstand danger, fear, or difficulty. Um, what I love about this community is that it chooses to embrace discomfort. It addresses challenges and unknowns. With this project, we didn't know when we first started how we're going to pay for it, who's going to do what's it going to look like. And we embraced that challenge as a community, and I think that's amazing. I know what courage doesn't look like. That's doing nothing, knowing that something needs to be done. And that's why I'm just so grateful for this community to step up, say, let's do this. Don't know what it's going to look like, but let's have the courage to take that step. That was awesome. Next is faith. Confidence or trust in a person or thing. There's so many people that's been involved with this, starting with citizens, commissioners, pool committee, City of Pratt employees, Donlinger Construction. Everybody had to have faith in each other. And with faith is trust. You have to put trust in that they're going to do the best job they can do. When you are surrounded with good people out here, great construction company, the city department heads, everybody are good people. And when you put your faith in them, they're going to do everything they can to see that challenge through. and they're not going to betray that trust, and they didn't on this project particularly. And that, this fosters a growth mindset, which I think is awesome about this community. We don't just settle; we take it to the next level. We say, "What's next?" and embrace those challenges. And we have to have faith and trust in each other for that. And what's been done here at this pool project is the epitome of that, and I'm very proud of that. So the last thing is benevolence. That's a desire to do good to others, goodwill, and charitableness. Man, Pratt's got a long history of that. For a town of under 7,000 people, those community treasures I mentioned, Green Sports Complex, Blythe Family Fitness, the Vernon Philly Art Museum, Pratt Track and Soccer Complex, the tennis courts back there. There's too many on this list. This is not a complete list. There's these big treasures, and there's acts of kindness and gestures, and it's all over this community. And I'm looking out here, and I see a lot of people who've done those things, and it's amazing. And those are all forms of benevolence, and that's perfectly illustrated with this project. These don't happen without love for the community and each other. Goodwill and charitableness are all over this town in many different ways, and I couldn't be more proud to call this home. It's where our family chooses to be. We couldn't be more proud. So those are the three virtues that I see in this project that perfectly demonstrate what I see in this community, and I couldn't be happier with this community. Today we celebrate a truly immense act of benevolence, as many of you know, in the form of the donation that is paying for this pool. It's pretty hard to put into words what that means to us as a community. With that, I'm going to hand the microphone over to Gina Goff, the city attorney, and she is going to address that benevolence act. So, thank you.
What a great day to be in Pratt, Kansas. Pratt is an amazing place. And like Zach said, many, many generous people are here. And the amazing couple that made this gift possible without taxpayer dollars, they've been together for more than 70 years. And in that time frame, they demonstrated the qualities that Zach said, but they also demonstrated strength, kindness, stewardship, and generosity. And it's my hope that when we bring our children and grandchildren here through the years, that we follow their example, that this is a reminder of those amazing character traits. It has truly been one of the highlights of my career to be involved in this project, but especially to get to know this amazing family. So it is my honor, it's my privilege and my pleasure to reveal the name of the family by revealing the name of the pool. Gary and Jean and their family gave me a paragraph that they would like me to read to you. It's their message to the community. It tells you a little bit about them. Jean grew up in Pratt. Gary was raised in Sawyer. In 1950, they met at the McKinney Pratt pool and started dating. They married in 1953. Gary is a veteran, a graduate of K-State, and a pilot. Jean raised 4 children, led Bible studies and Girl Scouts. They owned and operated Capital Airlines for 25 years. They moved back to the Pratt area and started ranching. We are very excited to see everyone enjoy the pool for many years to come. So they're very humble and modest people. They didn't want to speak, but it would be my pleasure to introduce this family to you. Jean is here with her daughters, Stacy and Marla, 2 of their grandchildren and their families. Would you please stand and let us honor you and thank you.
Yeah, if you can just bring those up. I'd like to take a couple minutes and just recognize some of the people that were involved in this project. And to begin with, the pool committee. The pool committee was formed by the city commission. They met, discussed ideas. The design is what they worked on. They put things together. They met for over a year, kind of working through things and visiting other pools and making this decision. And so I know all of them aren't here today, but as I call your name, if you would come up, I'd appreciate it. That's good. Just a little idea about the memento. I just, in recognition of their work, these buoys were on the ropes in the pool prior to this year. So we salvaged them, tried to clean them, and you can see some aren't very clean. That's just how they looked. But it's a remembrance of the old and then a reminder of the new. So at this point, I'd like to call on if Willabeth Mills is here. Joe Kramer, and I think Joe was not able, he had a commitment, but if Joe happened to get here, I don't see him. Jared Bishop. Shanielle Tebow. You got that one? That's not it. That's not it. Bev Crump. Tanya Harrison. Tanya was also responsible for our balloon trees and Liz Crable. And Dee Hill. She might be in the pool. She's our pool manager. She's getting the lifeguards ready for the mass assault here shortly. Yeah, we have. And Dominic. Yep. Our pool contractor. I'd like to recognize Adam Dahl from Donlinger Construction. The other guy that was here all the time is Jared Brand. And then Eric Swenson. That's just Donlinger. Our designer, Lamp Reinerson, I don't believe anybody, they're out of Nebraska. I don't believe anybody came here yet that I've seen. If there is someone, step forward. But Lamp Reinerson was our design team. Next, there's a couple of city employees that have spent quite a bit of time down here, and so I'd like at this time to acknowledge Russ Rambat. Huh? I think he's at the pump house making sure everything is in place and ready to go. He's a little worried about the change in the water with this many people getting in it all at once, so he might be there for a little while. The next person, I think, was here multiple times a day, inspecting things, making sure that everything was in the right place. Brad Blankenship. He's our city inspector. Also doing a lot of the assistance, and she's busy here. I'd like to recognize our city attorney, Regina Goff. Next, I'd like to go through the commissioners. They're the ones that actually made the decision to move forward with the pool. They made decisions on how it was going to go, when it was going to be done. They were an integral part of every step of the way, and they played a very active role in making things happen and supporting the staff so well when things got tough or decisions had to be made. They were always on the team. They were always part of our team and always part of making things work. So at this time, I'd like to recognize our commissioners, Kyle Farmer. Jeanette Siemens. And you can try to take one to Gary. Doug Meyer. Gary Schmidt. And Zach Deeds. Once again, I want to thank everyone for coming today, thanking all of these people who work so hard, and they do it as a volunteer job, and I really appreciated how they worked with everyone, and we're always open-minded, and when you walk through the doors, you'll see the fruit of their labor. So with that, one more big round of applause for everyone who was involved with the Pratt Pool.
Okay, now I believe we're back here with better audio. Sorry about that, guys. If you tuned in, you might have got cut off there. If you didn't, appreciate you continue watching. Again, I was starting with there, Zach, just on how awesome of a day this is, and kind of how you got from the original idea to ribbon cutting day, and just that time frame and what all it took and what it means to be here today.
This is a culmination of tremendous effort and thought. Like I said, it started about 20 years ago with a little tip from some of our, Russ Rambat was probably working the pool at the time, said, look, we got to do something about the pool. And, it's a long process that has to take a long time. It started picking up speed 7 or 8 years ago. We got a little bit more urgency. And then finally, I don't know, it's been 3 or 4 years ago, we hired an engineering firm to tell us what we already knew, just an affirmation that we need to do something. And at that point, we decided, let's go do this. And we started with community input. If you remember, we sent out surveys and said, what would you like in your pool? What would it look like? What would you envision? Where should it be? This is the community's pool, so they need to have that input.
And I don't know if anybody filling out that survey at that time could imagine what we're imagining today.
No, even, I mean, once it kind of got past that phase and to where there was a mock-up of it or, a digital design, or, you shared a little bit early on concepts, just pictures. And when you see this firsthand, and people will know what I'm talking about once they come down here for the first time, it's amazing.
It's surreal.
It really is.
It's tangible. We can go out there and splash in the thing that we thought would never happen, and today is just an affirmation of all those things we thought were possible, and it was possible because of the community and the buy-in. We had bond counsel that helped us out with the bond issue, and if you remember that vote, 76 point something approval on a sales tax issue. That's unreal. I mean, the bond company said that's a crazy amount of support. And I think that just speaks to how urgent it was and how important it was to this community. And then, of course, you have the wonderful gift from the Cromer family.
I was going to say, transition to that. This day we recognized the Cromer family. Everybody was curious all this time of who it was. But just speak on that of just how special of a community this is to have someone step up and make that type of donation for this type of project.
Yeah, it's pretty fun to talk about now because I've had to be really tight-lipped about it. I just actually saw them off. They just left a second ago, and I was informed that even the family didn't know. So a lot of them are just now finding out that the family donated. It was 3 family members knew about it, and then 3 of us at the city, and we swore to secrecy, and nobody knew about it.
No, you guys, that was one of the tightest kept secrets around here in a long time. And neat story. I found this out this week, and I think you or Bruce mentioned it in the opening there, that the Cromers met here at the pool 70 years ago. So this place holds a special place in their heart.
She was 14, he was 16. They met, fell in love, and it's been special to them all the time.
How neat is that?
And it was a really awesome moment when we revealed to them, and they saw for the first time. If you go around this corner, you'll see memorial to them in this event, and it's got their picture on it.
I saw that.
I know that was really nice for them.
Yeah, a real neat touch. Are there any, you guys gave away a lot of the buoys, which was neat there at the podium earlier. Are there any other special thank yous that, that you'd like to give out? I know this was a huge project, and there's probably too many for you to remember, and I probably shouldn't ask because you'll leave someone off then and feel bad. So maybe just one big, broad thank you.
The city employees were instrumental in making this happen. Every department head I think I've seen down here at some point contributing some way. All the departments pitch in. We have titles, but you see everybody pitching in wherever they can just because, that's the rec director. Yeah, well, he's also doing this over here. We just step up and make stuff happen, and that's indicative of the City of Pratt employees. They're just going and getting it done, and we'll worry about the details later.
Yeah, and you can see it today. There's just so many people mingling around here. They just want to be a part of this opening day. I've seen so many different people, business owners, kids, teachers, city workers. Everybody is just like, we want to go down there and be there on the opening day. And we talked about that, just us being able to do this, to broadcast a little bit from here and live stream it. And how cool is that to be able to document what happened here today?
All ages are out there dipping their toes in that zero entry, man. It's fun. And the smiles, I don't know if I've seen so many people smile since COVID. This is wild.
Speaking on that zero entry, are there any other design aspects, or where did you guys get is this the type of pool you saw somewhere else and were like, that's the one we want? Or did you mix and match design aspects that you really thought would benefit the size you had to work with and the need for the community?
Well, I'm not going to take any credit for that. It is a mix and match of all the best things that the pool committee found. They traveled, probably 150 mile radius around Pratt, touring pools, taking detailed notes, asking the people who ran it, what would you do different? What do you like? What do you not like? And it was all on them. They rocked. And a lot of the success that we're enjoying today is because of the pool committee and their commitment to this.
It's just got everything. It's got shade. It's got the zero entry. It's got the slides. It's got the shade is great. There's shade everywhere. That's one of the key features. Even that handrail. It's got plenty of accessibility for disabled or elderly. This pool has something for everybody.
That's right. Those little features, they may not look like much when there's nobody in the pool, like a a retaining wall or this casual little wall that's out here. But, that's a feature, and that's something that draws people's attention. They just like to lounge on it and be there. We really wanted to accommodate parents who want to be near the kids.
Yeah,
but
you can
enjoy
see it out there now.
themselves.
Yeah, you can see
look
that
at
kind of center row there. Lets the parents sit out there with their kids as they swim.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. It looks pretty full now. What is the official capacity of this pool?
Okay. It's 528, I believe. I've got
Wow.
my notes here.
And I shouldn't say it looks full. There's just a lot of people, but I was really surprised the first time I came in here. I think Wednesday, Bruce gave me a little bit of tour to kind of get set up for this. Driving by it, it did look a little smaller than the old one, but once you get through the gate and get up close to it, it's amazing how big it looks. And you can see it now. It doesn't look full at all, and there's probably well over 100 kids out there.
Oh, absolutely. No, it'll easily accommodate 300. That's the beauty of modern design and whatnot, as opposed to an oval pool. This is designed to accommodate a lot of people, not just in the pool, but around the peripheral. You'll notice the splash pads over here, the bubblers, and there's people enjoying the pool that aren't necessarily in the pool. Those ovals that we had in the past, there's a lot of wasted space in there that wasn't very efficient.
Yeah.
And, it didn't have those features, so who wants to go hang out in some random spot in the middle?
Yeah.
There's only so much you can do. So this is very engaging, very accommodating to a few hundred kids at any point in
Speaking
time.
of a few hundred, there have been some businesses that have stepped up
Oh,
for
my
opening
goodness.
day. Really, it looked like all the way through Thursday, maybe. PRMC has sponsored all the entries today, or paid for the entries. Tomorrow, gosh, I had a list here. I don't want to leave any off.
It's actually on the City of Pratt
Okay,
website right
yeah,
now.
I thought I had a list, and I wanted to just give all those businesses a shout out. Yeah, Saturday was sponsored by, let's see, Pratt Regional Medical Center. The Baymont and Wyndham will be sponsoring the first 100 on Sunday. AR Detailing and Anissa Ray sponsoring the first 100 on Monday. It just goes to Chapeau's got them Tuesday. Kathy's Closet Wednesday. Mid-Kansas Auto Sales Thursdays. I mean, how cool is that?
It's unreal.
That you have these businesses, they're like, yeah, we'll sponsor the first 100. And anybody watching, that is an opportunity. If that's something you're interested in and want to continue to do that, I think the city's going to keep that option available if businesses say, hey, put us down for the first 100 on so call the city if you're interested in doing something like that, because that's really neat for the kids.
It's really wild. Last I heard, there was at least all the way through August 10th was spoken for, and now we've gone into where actually the pool isn't going to be open anymore, and we're debating how we can make that work.
Yeah.
That's unreal. I talked about benevolence of the community. There's just a giving spirit here, man. People give in different ways too. They don't
Yeah.
have to all do $6 million. There's acts of kindness, and this is a perfect example of that.
Hey,
Archer.
Got the ribbon open. Now, along the way, I can't believe how fast this went up, a little under a year. What was the biggest challenge in that year that you ran into? Or can you do you want to speak on it? What was the one day where you're like, oh man, this could be a big setback? Or was there more than one?
No, it was early, actually. Believe it or not, we were over budget by quite a while. By quite a ways, I should say. So right at the beginning, we had a set amount of the $6 million, and the pool committee said this is everything we could possibly ever want, and we were over by a few $100,000.
Yeah.
And we had to make some painful decisions, but we're very prudent.
We were getting blared out there by the Frozen soundtrack now that they've got the tunes going. So if you're watching, we're fighting with that.
Yeah.
No, that's great. I think private parties will really boost from this. Are there any public events scheduled other than today's grand opening that you know of, or
just reserving the pool?
Just reserving the pool
You'll
for
need to
private
ask
parties?
D Hill would be the one to ask about that. I don't know any of those details.
Great. I don't think I have a whole lot more for you, Zach, other than appreciate you sitting down with me, and everybody out there watching, appreciate you tuning in. If you're not here yet, come on down. There's still plenty of room for kids to get in the pool and plenty of shade for the parents to sit and enjoy the day. But, man, this is awesome. Congrats. Last thing, I guess, how does this impact your tenure as a mayor? Is this a notch on the, how proud are you to say that this happened while you were the mayor of Pratt?
It's not something I consider. This is a community victory.
I agree.
I haven't even thought of that.
Yeah.
I don't worry about that stuff.
Well, great. That's great. And that's why you make a great mayor, Zach. I appreciate you sitting down with me, and
You bet.
let's enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you.
Thanks, buddy.
You bet.
All right, folks, that was Zach Deeds, City Mayor of Pratt. Like I said, if you haven't been down here yet today, if you weren't here for the ribbon cutting, really a great event going on here. We've got a couple different views here. You can see the slides there. Might see if we can grab a kid or two here, see what they think of it, but really a cool event. This pool is just going to be great for everybody of all ages here for the city of Pratt, and we can't thank everybody that committed their time, effort, money, resources to put this in. Thanks to the city of Pratt for letting me come down here and do this. Thought it'd be a fun way to share it with everybody who wasn't able to make it. So Archer, you want to get on the mic? You want to get on the mic there? Tell us how fast that slide is.
No, I'm good.
We need to know which is the fastest slide. Yeah,
Just tell them what the fastest slide is.
Maybe the green one.
the green one. Well, here you go. Talking to that.
Okay.
There you go. He says the green one is the fast one. The green one is the one that's all enclosed, so dark the whole way down, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's the first one I'm going to try then.
Okay.
All right, thanks, Archer.
Yep.
All right, folks, I'm going to sign off here. Like I said, get down here. We've been flashing the hours below there and the rates. The rates haven't changed from last year or the hours, so if you are 5 and under, prices are free. 5 to 17, it's $1 for entry. Adults 18 and older is $2. That's just another huge benefit of this being privately donated, is they were able to keep those admission costs the same as they have been forever for Pratt. So big thank you. I did want to flash this up here. I found this online, scouring through some of the old Facebook posts. This was one of the open days back in June 10th. I didn't have the year. A couple old pictures here from Pratt here. This was an aerial view, I believe in the early 50s. You can see the hospital there. It's fun to go back through and look at some of those old pictures of the pool here, and now what we have today is just amazing. So thanks for everybody for tuning in, and until next time, follow us here on Eastus Media. Hop over to the YouTube page. We broadcast there a lot. Give us a follow there, and till next time, thanks for tuning in.